like I've always wanted just like a competent adventure game that Mario gets, that even Sonic gets these days for Donkey Kong.
It looks just like the Incredible Hulk game on Nintendo GameCube.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. like it's the best version of Incredible. I forget what the subtitle
Ultimate
was.
Destruction.
Ultimate Destruction, thank you. Where all the environments
you can break anything.
Yeah,
you can make Hulk hands out of cars.
I can never get a good. I tried to download a Where's version for PC and it ran so bad.
No.
Every time you smashed a building, the game froze for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Young Junk!
Switch 2!
Switch 2?
Switch 2.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Tubby Talk, where we're going to talk about ice cream. Now, we're talking about the Switch 2. This is going to be a great time. I'm Terry. You know the guys, Steve and Chris. It happened. It happened. They dropped it, and we weren't there live to cover it. We should have been. And we really should have done that.
It was a ton of information.
Yeah, a crazy amount of information.
An hour plus, and it was just like bang, bang, bang. And like, I know I watched a little late because my daughter was like, Dad, can you wait for me to get back from school to watch it? And I was like, yes. I thought, yes, 1,000 times yes.
Yeah.
I watched it a little late because I forgot all about it. I even talked to Chris about something that day, and then later on, I'm just like, crap, Nintendo Direct. I didn't watch it.
I was in the kitchen and I just caught it on YouTube and it said live. I'm like, what do you mean live? So I was an hour late, which was tough because I'm like, okay, I got to watch the intro, but then I got to watch itty bitty things and know what to skip so I can get back to live and enjoy it live with everyone else.
Yeah.
So I didn't make it. I didn't make it to catch it up because there was too much in there.
Yeah.
That I wanted to sit and listen to. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, the hardware, was, I mean, we knew what it looked like, right?
Yeah.
We knew basically what it was going to be. Yeah. We knew that it was probably going to be magnetic, and we knew that it's probably going to have a mouse built into both controllers.
But there's a fan.
But the fan was actually pretty. I
thought the fan was cool too.
I still don't understand the fan. All right, so this is the dock specifically, right?
Yeah.
So the Switch 2 dock has a butt, and it's got a booty, and in the booty is a fan to provide active cooling.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any damn sense because
how you do 4K without a fan?
I want to see liquid cooling on the outside of it. Remember those?
That's the thing. Like to efficiently cool any chip, you got to be right on top of that chip. Your heatsink is like pressed against it.
Yeah,
but else it doesn't make any
but
damn
in the
sense.
dock where it's going to be plugged into an AC outlet, you don't need it to be super efficient. You just needed to pull some air away from the internals.
But the thing is, like, you slide it in. It's a separate piece of plastic.
Well,
it's like switch, air,
we don't know if it's not a slot or a mesh in between in the back of the new dock. Because the current dock is solid plastic, but there might be airflow.
The dock was the most exciting part of the peripheral to me because there was that extra piece that I did not see coming, which was the 4K output in the dock.
Mm.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily know it was going to be 4K output, so that's pretty cool.
Well, as soon as I heard it was, that the screen would be 1080 due to size, I was like, oh, okay, there'll probably be a 1080 system, and that's fine. Most people play it handheld. Well, I wasn't expecting
1080 is really high for a handheld, too.
Yeah. So maybe the fan's not for the Switch in the dock mode. Maybe the fan is to cool the tech powering the 4K.
That's what I think it is.
Like
that makes
upscaling
more sense.
or something. Or there's a video card in there that it's using to.
Yeah, I would love to know like the guts inside that dock, like what's going on. But one thing that blew me away is that the screen is 120 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
Did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming.
I wouldn't have. If someone told me that ahead of time, I'd be like, yeah, your uncle works at Nintendo. I got it, bro. But that's crazy because that is pretty concurrent with modern technology. For Nintendo, that's like ahead of the curve.
Yeah, well, they also nailed it in that they were like, okay, this is going to be a system that is for maximum playability. We're not souping up the part that's in your hands. We're making that work well because it's worked well since Game Boy Advance SP. That has always worked well. And I think they just
prioritized. It didn't work well. It just started at SP.
Well, I'm just thinking of the screen. But when that came out, going forward, every one of their handhelds, which the Switch is, a handheld first and a console second, in my opinion, they go for playability. And having 120 frames per second on HD is going to be much better than something that's lagging or slowing down or any of that stuff.
It's going to look great. And it's actually really great for classic games because it also has variable refresh rate. So if an old game plays at a different rate, it can match it perfectly. So
now we can play all the PAL games.
Yeah, play the PAL games at 50 hertz like they were intended. But no, it's actually really cool for retro stuff. And I was excited to see that.
What about the wheel game? Anybody excited for that?
The mice. Yeah, Chris was saying yes.
I'm legit excited for that. Just because it's unique and like I want to feel it and see how that plays, and I could see it being really fun. Like I love like weird little indie ideas that get blown out. And this is not an indie idea, right? It's Nintendo, but it makes me think of games like Gang Beasts that we have sunk hours and hours into. Have you ever played Gang Beasts?
No, I haven't.
Actually, at first I was going to be all ready to poo-poo the double mouse control. Now I'm like, playing Gang Beasts with that would be fun.
Yeah. So Gang Beasts is essentially a fighting game.
It's like a physics-based like arena grappling.
And so you're like these doughboy guys, and each button kind of controls a limb, but it doesn't control it very well. So you go up and you like whack at guys, and you grab on and you throw them. It's all physics, so it's funny the whole time you're laughing.
So there's like a trigger button like raises your arm, and you let it go, it lowers it. There's another button to grab. So you have to do like a button chord to like reach out, grab someone, and then try to move them left or right. I can see that with the mouse controls being more intuitive because you have more control over the directions of the arms.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about this before we hopped on, the idea of childhood fun. And that's where a game like that, I think of childhood fun. I think of like being in a room with 4 of your buddies and you're like, going next to each other, and then you're like slapping the other guy's thing, you know.
A new table like this one.
Yeah. Table plug.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun. Now, I know a lot of people were disappointed, like, oh, it looks so generic. And like the look is a little generic, but like, I don't play a game like that for the looks, right?
What did you want?
It's no more generic than Astro Boy looked when it was a tech demo in the Playroom thing for the PS5. Like,
yeah.
Here's what you do. You get those old Mario Party Nintendo gloves, and you use those while you're playing the Switch. It's more Nintendo-fied.
Or you get some power gloves. You got to find a lefty. You got to find a lefty one. Or break your thumb.
Only one ever made. Break your thumb. I like that better.
They had to have prototyped a lefty one.
Yeah.
Or made a mod. Yeah. I know somebody's made one. I saw like a Kickstarter or something. Somebody made a left-handed one.
Are you more excited having seen the Direct? I genuinely
I am, yes. Because before I was just like, oh, bigger, sleeker Switch. I'm going to buy it probably, but whatever. And now I'm like, oh, it's got cool features to it that it doesn't have Hall effect joysticks, which are the ones that are like less drift prone.
Yeah, they use magnets to sense it.
I'm thinking because they use magnets, but they also use magnets to connect it to the system. Maybe they're just like too much magnetism, too little of a space.
The only downside, like I might be an extreme minority in this. I think it seems a little big. Like I didn't need a bigger Switch.
You are an extreme minority in this.
Yes. Like I thought like the Switch was a really good size. If anything, a little big.
The Switch is a good size, but having a bigger screen and the rest of the Joy-Con stay the same size would be awkward.
Yeah, it's just it's not a handheld, right? It's a portable gaming device, but like you got to put that in a backpack.
Well, but that's the thing. Like Terry's like it's a handheld. I kind of think it's a handheld.
You know why? You know why? Because it's not. I think that iPad is bigger.
Yeah, the iPad is definitely bigger.
It's a tablet. It's a gaming tablet.
Yes, and I think to me maybe the breaking point is like, can you hold it with one hand? I don't think you can hold this new one with one hand.
Yeah, but you can't control it with one hand.
That's a good question.
Yeah, but you can't control it with one hand, so it's moot.
Yeah, but you couldn't control that Game Boy with one hand either, but you could still hold it with one hand and like...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like,
it's weird. There's not a device, like a backpack that you wear with like a little thing out here. And then it sits on there so you can walk around.
Oh, that's the weird part, huh?
I guarantee you people make that.
And then like you take the sides off, you play down here, you have a ball.
But if you check
you're out in the world.
You check
it's like it's like that episode of Family Guy where Peter breaks the TV, and so he gets a little frame device in front
to watch
so that the world is TV.
The difference though is then he's seeing the things that are in the world. In this case, you won't see anything. You smash into everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sit down on the train.
Yes, you go right into traffic.
Sit down on the train, you play it like this, and then people steal your Game Boy or your Switch. See, so that's my thing. You're like, you can't hold it in one hand. I'm like, yeah, you have to hold it in two hands. Makes it harder for people to steal it from you. When you put it in your backpack, they can't steal it from you because it's in your backpack.
Oh, funny. This one, they
I was traumatized by people stealing my...
And it's magnetic, and they just yank it really hard, and they take the magnets off.
And I've got Joy-Cons. You don't got no Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
You're going to do play the touch screen.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
Sucker.
The nothing?
Well, you can.
I'm going to file an insurance claim, get a new Switch.
Yeah. So you guys all like the bigger one. You think that's positive?
I think yes.
I
said by someone who rarely plays it handheld.
Well, I only play it handheld, so I'd prefer it just because I like said we have more visual real estate.
Yeah.
Rather than not. I'm not like, oh, if it's not bigger, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
But since it is bigger, it's a plus to me. It's not a minus.
Like I got a Steam Deck as well. And the Steam Deck, you definitely can't one hand. Like you can try and like your wrist will just wilt.
Can we see that? Can we see Steam Deck versus Switch 2?
What's
I'd love to
interesting,
see an
so-
image.
Before I went to bed last night, I was playing Elden Ring on my Steam Deck,
Mhm.
and I also had the Switch out, and I was like, which one's going to load first? But then I put them next to each other. I hadn't really done that. The screen size, the length is identical on the Switch and the Steam Deck, which is weird because the Steam Deck feels double as large.
I thought the Steam Deck screen was smaller than the Switch. First Switch or OLED? Or...
This is the OLED Switch, which does have a slightly different size, but they were in fact, I think the Switch had a slightly larger screen than the Steam Deck.
Because
You could probably type Switch 2 versus Steam Deck.
and like actually like
Or just Switch 1 versus Steam, because that's what I'm looking at.
and like actually like I misspoke. I thought the Steam Deck had a larger screen than the Switch.
There you go.
But
Yeah, because
the
perfect.
Steam Deck is larger than the Switch, so it makes it seem like the screen is smaller.
yes.
Wait.
So you look at those, right? And you're just like, oh, the screen on the Switch is actually a little bigger than the giant honking thing. Now,
It's a Game Gear versus.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say that. I was like, it looks like
What?
a Game Gear. It still looks like a Game Gear.
And
Oh,
I-
actually, no. Remember the Nomad? Sega
Yeah,
Nomad?
I do.
It looks more like a Nomad than.
Excuse me. I remember it from watching the Gaming Historian on YouTube. I do not. I never saw it. In
I
person.
remember it because I coveted it beyond anything else besides a mini disc player.
oh, even as a Nintendo fan, I was like, that looks hot.
Yeah,
I
that and the
want
mini
that.
disc player were my two white whales
Is
of
that
technology.
Was it the Lynx?
The Lynx.
Sorry, Lynx.
Atari Lynx.
Yeah.
Sega Nomad.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, the Nomad was the portable Genesis. Like,
yeah. You
straight
put
up
Genesis cartridges in it. It was great.
By the way, did you know about the Master System?
As a kid, I didn't.
I didn't either.
I knew about it from reading about video game magazines talking about Master System. I assumed it was just like a Famicom, Japan only. I didn't know that
I
it
had
had a
no
version.
concept of this thing.
And what's
Yeah.
crazy is the Genesis came with a slot for it.
It
You-
did?
Yeah, the original
original
Genesis
one,
had a
yeah.
slot for a Master System in the back,
What?
and
like
I
Master
didn't-
System discs?
yeah, for cartridges. So you could use both cartridges in the Genesis.
It was a top loader.
Yeah, it has two slots on top. Original
It
Genesis.
did?
Yeah, look up.
Can I see the
I remember
original?
having two slots, but I think they just fit into the same slot.
Original Sega Genesis.
I definitely had an original one, like the big long one with the slide power switch. You got to slide, and the red little highlight. Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
Okay,
remember.
I'm wrong.
I think you think it. Maybe you think it's
But it
32.
played a pretty.
Oh, what the hell is that though?
What is that? No.
16-bit.
Oh yeah, that's what it said on the original one.
Yeah,
There were three
Okay, so
models.
that's the original one.
There were three models of Genesis that came out, and the first one had 16. It looks like it's branded 16-bit.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
The brand.
Yeah, so maybe you're thinking of the Saturn, which had like a cartridge port in the back.
I might have been.
Well, there's the Mega Drive right there. Amazon UK on the bottom right of the screen.
But yeah, Master System wasn't something I was really aware of. I think
Well, the Mega Drive was just the European Genesis.
Oh, I'm an
Yeah.
idiot.
The Master System.
This,
is
but this
something.
leads to what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. The Master System, I thought was a goof, like a Game Pro type of like,
Oh
spoof
yeah,
or something like that. Because I'm like,
remember Axe Kid on the Master System?
no, but really, it's more like remember Sonic the Hedgehog, which came out on Genesis first and then was ported to the Master System as the flagship of Sega. It made no sense to me. But then I realized, oh, Alex Kidd predated Sonic.
yeah.
Yeah, that was their first attempt at a mascot, and it's terrible.
But that's like they switched from their Mario to a whole other thing. That would be if like Mario was just a Nintendo.
Alex Kidd was supposed to be a kid. He looked like a monkey, like a chimpanzee. They failed at making him look like a kid, and then his game was just uninspired.
I guess his re-release, the re-release game though looked really cool.
I feel like he still looks like a monk. I think they leaned
he
into
So
it.
they made a re-release Alex Kidd.
Ah,
They did one.
Dylan, my boy, can we see Alex?
I think
Kidd
it was the same-
remake.
It's the same art style as the Wonder Boy, like they came out on Switch.
Which there were two remakes that came out.
Yeah,
And
but it had like the hand drawn style. I think they did Alex Kidd
It's,
like that. I believe.
Alex Kidd, Kidd.
Yeah.
Remake. There you go.
huh.
What?
Doesn't look like
Wait, is- Or did I dream this?
Oh, you guys
No,
thinking
no,
of-
no,
oh,
no,
you
it's
guys
real.
thinking of Wonder Boy?
Let me see how it's spelled. Oh, there's a
Yeah, no,
friggin'
like, it was like a
musician.
Wonder Boy.
Oh, maybe it's that. Bingo! There it
you
is.
Go. Oh, he still has the
Miracle
monkey
World
ears.
DX.
They
Yeah.
gave him like a Beatles haircut,
It's
which
crazy.
I think what they were going for. But
What I
looks like a
love
monkey.
about this, though, is it has a function in this game where you can go back to the classic look,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty neat. But yeah, I mean, it's all who's Goku a ripoff of?
so,
Son.
Wukong from the
Did that game come out, by the way, for PS5, the Wukong game?
Yeah. Black
Oh.
Myth.
you missed the entire thing about that.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
It came out. There's a bunch of controversy because the devs said something people didn't like, and then also won Game of the Year a bunch because reasons.
Yeah. It's a very, yeah, there's a lot of
Right.
controversy with that one.
Like politically?
Politically, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And like,
But other stuff too.
yeah, and then I think it was funded by some. But it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That's one scary monkey.
And actually finishes this. See, I actually like that the advertising is like, you didn't beat these games when you were a kid. Why don't you come back and try doing that? Alex.
Oh yeah, you had to fight rock paper scissors like monsters.
See, I would love to see somebody who had the original Genesis that came with Alex Kidd before Sonic was out.
Wow.
Because Genesis was released
I mean,
before Sonic. That's just what we associate with.
my
it.
bro-
was?
Yeah, Sonic didn't come out for like a
My
year. Or
brain's
something.
exploding.
Like they literally brought it out. They were like, "Oh, people are gonna love this Genesis with Alex Kidd, 16-bit version," and then
Mm-hmm.
it went flat. And then they were like, "Look at this Sonic," and everybody was like, "Yay!" Yeah, my brother definitely had the original one because we bought Sonic as a cartridge. Well, he bought Sonic as a cartridge. I remember the clamshell case and everything.
What remakes do you want on the Switch 2? Because part of the thing is there's these cool Switch 2 editions for a lot of games, which was
I
kind
would
of interesting.
I want Tears of the Kingdom in the Wind Waker art style.
Tears of the Kingdom in the okay.
I don't even care if you remake it if you just do a filter, but
Yeah, but why not? Like, that would be cool to have a filter.
Because I want a new Zelda game.
'Cause it's like-
before I want a remake of another one.
But I want all of it. I want to be able to Twilight Princess it if I want to.
Nobody should
That's cool.
Nobody should ever Twilight Princess anything.
because it's
That Twilight Princess art style was beautiful and
I
dark.
hated it so much.
it's so much work. You'd have to remodel every character.
They did it with Alex Kidd.
Yeah, Alex Kidd's got like 10 enemies. You talk about one of these open world Zeldas, and they got hundreds of NPCs, all with different faces and animations. So I'm tired of remakes. I don't want more remakes. But if somebody was to, what I really want is a sequel to this. But I'd settled for a remake of Blast Corps
Yeah, sure.
because
That's Rareware, right?
yes, it's criminal that there was only one of that was the only game in that series because it was brilliant.
There's a more recent take on that game. I don't think it's what you want.
Which one? Well,
I can't remember what it is, but it's something you drive a car and everything's made out of voxels.
Okay.
And you're supposed to like destroy the stages as much as possible. Voxels. Like the Minecraft
It's a 3D pixel.
3D pixel.
Okay.
So it's like it's kind of like a Minecraft where we drive a car, you're supposed to smash it up with the car.
Yeah.
It looks dumb. It's like it's an indie game though. So it's kind of on the low production value side, but it's spiritually it's Blast Corps. It's like you have 30 seconds, destroy this Rikers Island recreation or this Alcatraz recreation with a car. 30 seconds, go.
That's probably not what I want.
And but like you hit a block that's like an explosive block and it blows up X number of voxels and you have to like place these things. You place them around and then you have to blow them up within the time.
See, what was cool about Blast Corps is it had all the different vehicles and they controlled differently, and you had to master each one to blow up
Master
all the
each
stuff. Yeah. Especially the sideswipe dump truck was a crazy one. You had to like power slide into things to break them because if you went head on, you wouldn't break it. So it was tricky.
You had to become a master blaster.
A master blaster. So that game, I'd be pretty excited. I don't know. Do you get excited? Remakes, I know you
Some of
get
them.
into.
So I get into okay. So I am an absolute fanboy for the game you hate, the remake of Link's Awakening. I loved it. Ground up remake of a simple title. That's also why I kind of like the Alex Kidd stuff.
Yeah.
I like 8-bit to now and retaining however it was originally done.
I mean,
What's
that
it-
was interesting. Yeah.
You know.
Like I would prefer
Did you play? I'm sorry.
No.
Did you play Echoes?
Echoes.
Echo. Yeah, no, I didn't.
So we have it. I haven't jumped into it
Okay,
yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Great topic.
Yeah.
Coming to Switch 2 probably the Switch 2 version.
Was it?
I don't know, but it's close enough that I can see them releasing a Switch 2 version for people that haven't bought it yet.
Yeah.
They just buy the version for Switch or like the upgrade pack or whatever they're thinking of doing.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, like I would like a remake of an 8-bit game with added complexity,
Okay.
which could also be a sequel, I guess. You could, depending on how you want to split hairs. But like So I'm kind of in between you guys' camps. Like, I don't want to remake because, like, I want to remake to play a game I used to like as a kid, but as an adult. And as an adult, I don't want to play the kid game anymore.
All right.
So if you add
Ninja
complexity to it, like
Ninja Gaiden? That started on the Nintendo as Run to the Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't a
Shuriken
remake.
and became a,
But there's a game called The Messenger, which has the stylings of Ninja Gaiden.
Of the original Ninja Gaiden.
Of the original Ninja Gaiden, but with added
you want
complexity.
the gameplay the same.
Yeah, gameplay similar, but with extra stuff added to it.
Yeah, I like it.
Like there's a,
Yeah.
but then
Like a Switch 2 version of a Switch game.
That's a four segue.
We've got
a seg.
Here's the thing. We've got 3 segues here. One, we got to do just for views. You mentioned Minecraft. That movie just came out.
Yes.
Minecraft movie, yay or nay? What do we think?
A Minecraft movie?
The
No, it's
Minecraft.
called-
It's called
out.
a
A
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Oh, I'm sorry. A Minecraft movie. Yay or nay? Is this good for the world, bad for the world?
F. Bad.
Bad for the world?
I'm fine with it.
I think it's good for the world.
Yeah.
It seems like kids are really, really excited, but it dethroned Mario as far as box office
It did?
in its first weekend.
No.
Can we look that up real quick?
It didn't completely overtake Mario.
No, just first weekend.
Yeah, first weekend.
Stop the world. I want to.
Which is huge.
Well,
Which
Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay, it is. So
It's bypassed
we are old.
everything else.
That was
what-
the game.
Well, no. So it's not even. It's not only that though. It's the epitome of what video game adaptation should not be,
Mash.
and what they used to be, and they were terrible.
Yeah, record breaking, 163 million.
Okay. And nothing I've seen about the movie, I haven't seen it yet, mind you, but nothing I've seen about the movie makes me think it's like a tongue-in-cheek. Oh, remember video game movies used to be take the video game and change everything, and it's fun. Like,
Well, he's
I don't think
literally
it's a
playing
pastiche.
Steve.
But I don't think they change everything. Like, it seems like it's, once they're in the Minecraft world, it's pretty analogous to Minecraft.
But I have a
Yeah.
huge problem with movies like this. They did it in Sonic. They keep doing it. What if someone from the real world
Yeah.
came into the video game? Stop it! It's got a well-established thing.
well,
So the big thing I hear about this is that there's this whole movie that could have been Jack Black in green screen, and it could have been great, and everyone would have liked it. But because there's 4 people in Jumanji, which made a lot of money, now we need 4 people.
so that's what I was about to say. Why is this different than Jumanji?
It's not.
Jumanji was a perfectly cromulent movie. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Jumanji 2 was less cromulent, but I still kind of liked it. This just seems like Jumanji 3, but with different people.
Yeah. Although the idea of making like Steve a character who was a human who then got sucked into the Minecraft world and stayed there for years, like that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's
fun lore.
Jumanji.
Yeah, that is true. No, it's literally Jumanji because the kid comes out and he's now a well-worn traveler.
My Minecraft.
And I'm, it's the same idea again, but I'm kind of okay with it.
Here's
Kind
the
of
thing
okay.
with this movie that I'm curious your guys' take on. As someone who studied film, the issue with this movie that I have is this is an example of a movie that has divorced itself from proper storytelling and 3-act structure and whatnot in favor of let's put in a bunch of reminders from the thing you already love.
Right.
There is an argument here of that this is the way that media is going because that's all that a meme is. That's all the TikTok generation is hey, this is
15 seconds at a
references
time.
without an actual story. To me, that represents the death of cinema,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's probably where we're going.
Well,
Based on that number,
See, when you put it that way, now I'm less into it.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you're making me think like this. Now it's the Family Guy humor of cinema,
you got it.
which is just like, here's a reference. Here's another reference. And it's like, there's nothing connecting those threads. There's no greater idea at play. It's just, remember this thing? We're going to find some esoteric thing that triggers something in your brain. I hate that.
It's
I hate
it's
that.
hour and 20-minute
a
unboxing
story.
video
Yeah.
on YouTube. Like,
Oh, God.
Well, actually,
Unboxing video, the movie. That's going to happen.
the best teardown of Family Guy, which is a show I like, is there's a South Park versus Family Guy episode, and Cartman in it says basically, you're laughing because I did something inherent to the plot, not just laughing for laughter's sake, and that is the problem. So he's explaining it like you need to be a film first, you need to be a show first, and then the jokes should be within the plot, within the structure, not these additive things. But
Yeah.
that says something, CNN business.
Well,
like,
what's that thing? Like, on one hand, I believe with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, everything you just said.
yeah.
But also, I feel like they called it a Minecraft movie. in order to say like this is one take on what we can do with the world of Minecraft. There's different. There already are preceding takes, so they want to make this like the definitive thing. They're like, this is a story, a collection of images and sounds about Minecraft.
Yeah, and possibly
That's clever.
we can have things that are just referential and also things that have plots like we do now. Like there's a wide variety of stuff, and like maybe not the future is this. The future is many things, perhaps.
Yeah, like at lunch, I was talking with Chris today about like I love pizza when it's hot and fresh. When you have to reheat it, to me, it's not pizza anymore. It's a whole different food item.
Okay.
And it has its own qualifications and its own things I like and dislike about it.
Yeah.
Because it's warmed over, it's reheated, but I don't compare it to fresh pizza because it's never going to
Like
compare
it's a
to fresh
different
pizza.
thing.
So fresh pizza, cold pizza, microwaved pizza, three different
Three different foods. Just like
Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft.
yeah, just like movies and theatrical movies, streaming movies, TV shows. Those are three different things to me.
Okay.
And I have different expectations of the different forms.
Mm-hmm.
If they borrow from each other, it can be interesting, can be not. So this existing as a collection of memes or a collection of stuff that references Minecraft and being successful, I don't dislike it in and of that, in and of itself for that goal, attaining that goal. I just like it because they could have made a narrative story about it from it that would have still been first opening weekend as successful because people are going to see it because Minecraft.
Now the thing is, none of us have seen this movie, right?
No.
So
And
maybe
also,
there's a story.
and also has it been a second weekend yet?
I've gone through quite.
If it drops off precipitously after the second weekend, it could be people don't like it. They just saw it because of Minecraft.
I don't know.
Like people saw Mario because Mario, and then they went back to see it because they liked it.
I
They
will
went
say,
back to
though,
see
like,
Sonic because they liked it.
a lot of what I enjoyed. So the Mario movie was a story. It was a simple story, but it was a
But it was a story.
But I did get a thrill seeing references to things, and I know, like, oh, they're just playing me like a fiddle, and I hate that, but I'm still enjoying that because I'm a slut, right?
I mean, just because you know how the sausage is made doesn't make you a sausage slut.
Yeah.
I would argue that in the Mario movie, it was more clever the way that they did everything. Like, it wasn't like a Mario Kart just went by. It was integral to the plot of that movie.
We need to get from point A to B. Let's use Mario Kart.
And I also don't care if it's that simple, but I'm a structure Nazi.
Mhm.
Like, I love structure in a movie. But regardless, we just had to do that for the short because we needed a Minecraft movie short to get views.
So actually, I wonder if they're going to bring Minecraft to the Switch too. It would make.
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they? Right?
I got a mouse now and everything.
Yeah.
Who owns it?
Microsoft.
Microsoft does. They don't care about putting stuff on Switch.
Well, okay.
They wanted to stream on Switch.
But great segue.
Yeah.
I was not ready for the Sony drops. There's Sony titles being developed for Nintendo Switch 2, as well as Microsoft.
Oh, I didn't know about the Sony thing at all.
It was real quick. In the middle of the direct, they showed a couple of Sony things.
Oh, okay.
The one that blew me away was that the new big From Software game, which is traditionally associated with Sony, but it's a third party, that's coming to Switch exclusively, which made a lot of people
I
mad.
mean, Bloodborne and everything but name.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dusk Bloods.
Yeah.
The Dusk Blood.
I was very excited. I'm like, yes, Bloodborne. They finally pried away from Sega. They're no, it's a different game, but it's Bloodborne.
It was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. Which
Like,
is
when they
Square.
showed, I was like, what?
But
I mean, yeah, that's Square. That's not. They haven't been tied to PlayStation, Sony in a while.
Actually, you know what? It was the direct before. It was Hot Shots Golf.
Oh yeah. There was like
Hot Shots is a Sony. I don't play it, so I don't know. I just thought it was just a golf.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's third party, but it's like pretty strongly
Well,
associated. with
okay,
Sony.
so let's put it that way. We're not getting Sony's, but former Sony exclusive we are getting.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't see like Spider-Man.
Which From Software is perfectly in there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, Bloodborne was.
Yeah,
It's a whole.
Yeah, but it has that. Have they developed anything for any other software?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
PC.
Yeah, everything except for Demon.
okay.
Yeah, even Demon Souls now. Bloodborne is a Sony published game.
And are you excited?
I'm very excited about Dust Blood. Yeah,
Dust
because
Blood.
I love Bloodborne because Sony, the studio that made it with From Software doesn't exist anymore at Sony. That's one of the reasons they haven't like remade Bloodborne for PS5.
Oh.
The rights are like all tied up in a weird way.
Mm.
But Dust Bloods has the same type of gameplay that I liked and the atmosphere I liked from Bloodborne.
And I think I'm getting more excited for that because I've been playing through Elden Ring for the first time way late, right? People were into this game 2 years ago.
This is the first From Software game that clicked for you.
It
finally,
clicked,
right?
and I'm finally like, oh, this is good. after bashing my head against Dark Souls for 60 hours and not getting it, this one, like, oh no, all right, if this is good and that's coming, a new game like this is coming to Switch, absolutely. The one game, though, I think both Steve and I are most excited for, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah,
me too.
It looks amazing.
So fun.
I was like, I've always wanted just like a competent adventure game that Mario gets, that even Sonic gets these days for Donkey Kong.
It looks just like the Incredible Hulk game on Nintendo GameCube.
Too, like, it's the best version of Incredible. I forget what the subtitle
Ultimate Destruction.
Ultimate Destruction, thank you. Where all the environments are destructible.
Everything.
Yeah,
you can make Hulk hands out of cars.
I can never get a good. I tried to download a Where's version for PC and it ran so bad.
No.
Every time you smashed a building, the game froze for 30 seconds.
Yeah. But Ethan will find that.
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction is what it looks like. But I was like, why are they showing Mario Kart up front? That's why. I was thrilled. Did you know? As soon as it said Ingot, I was like, we're in a Rare game. I immediately thought, is this a Banjo-Kazooie? Did we get Rare back or something like that?
So
and then
Ingot make you think that?
I don't know. I feel like I think there's a Banjo-Kazooie character, Ingot or something. There's someone who's kind of like that. But also just a bump. I know how weird that sounds. But like in a lot of Rare games, it was somebody's something.
Yeah.
That kind of rhymed. And it was like, I think we're in that world. But as soon as I saw the bricks, I was like, that's the opening Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah.
Is like the punch through. I was like, oh my God, are they really doing it? But then I was like, what is this? He's got a hat and overalls.
Yeah, he looks very different.
Yeah.
I like it. He's expressive.
I like it too.
Like it looks very cartoony.
I've liked it since the movie, but
it's I kind of brought this up last time. I'm obviously the art dummy here at this table, artistic dummy. People are like, "Oh, I'm so mad they went with the new Donkey Kong design from the movie." I'm like, they are technically different, yes. It's Donkey Kong. I'm looking at Donkey Kong on the screen. I don't notice a difference. He's not like purple now.
And like I would argue it's a closer drawing to the original Donkey Kong from the arcade.
It is, for sure.
And so it's like, okay, they're taking it's a new take on the character, but like you said, it's still recognizably
very recognizably Donkey Kong. Very recognizably Mario in the Mario Kart World trailer where he has what? The difference is the shade of brown in his mustache.
Well, and then there were little like Kong looking creatures before, like there was a bunch of like
there's like chimpanzees,
or something.
Yeah. Diddy's working away in the mines.
But I could not be more excited for a fully 3D. I mean, we haven't seen this since Donkey Kong 64,
and that was a bad take, I would say. Which I'm like competent.
Not at the time. I don't think I think at the time it was fun. I think in it looking back,
I can say I hated it.
You could say you hated it.
Yeah, because I loved Mario 64 and I tried to play Donkey Kong 64 and I'm like, this is garbage.
So you're saying
I'd rather play
getting what you want because this is the Mario.
I would rather have played Gex than Donkey Kong 64. I did. I put it down. I was like, hey, can I borrow your PlayStation so I can play Gex?
Oh,
that's how much I hated Donkey Kong 64.
Dana Gould enthusiasm and everything.
But this new game, like it just seeing him tunnel just through the ground and pick up a piece of the ground, swing it around, breaking everything. It looks like a new idea, a new fun platformer, and I want it.
It's different. It looks like Nintendo is gonna try and looks like exceed what Rare did in the past that made the N64 so much fun. Like it's looking like they're gonna be the kings of this kind of platformer again. I like that it's different than Mario.
Yeah.
But I have heard it's a similar like engine. So basically the things that I've read is like if you played Mario Odyssey, you're gonna get a feel for this game right away and kind of understand how it works.
Great.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally fine with that.
So
do they cross over?
There's probably gonna be some Mario something.
Well, so I was reading about some controversy. I was talking with Chris about this earlier. The Korean promotional art for the game shows what looks like a child version of Pauline holding on to Donkey Kong's neck, but she's the mayor of New Donk City in Odyssey.
How does
Dylan
Google this?
If you look,
I don't even Korean.
So
Donkey Kong.
Look up Bonanza with an A, 2 A's, Bonanza, and then Pauline. That'll find
Bonanza.
Bonanza, like banana, but Bonanza.
Did Nintendo just accidentally reveal an unannounced character? Oh my God.
That's either of those two.
Yeah,
you look.
We hate IGN though.
So if you scroll back up that picture, the right.
Oh,
picture,
little Pauline.
see, it looks like a child version of Pauline.
and it could just be another kid.
Yeah,
In
it could
theory,
also be
but-
art style, but she in Odyssey.
Yeah, but
she's
that
a mayor.
bracelet
She's
means
an adult
something.
mayor.
Nah, she's Ben 10.
She's been 10.
Supposed to say the Rock and the other promotional art is possibly turns back and forth, or maybe
Oh, maybe.
into the Rock. And
Side note, did you know there's a live action Ben 10 movie with Tom Holland?
no, there's
It's out already.
I
no,
think so.
there's not.
There's a preview for it.
That's one of those fake trailers. That
You think so?
there's a company that makes fake trailers on YouTube. They put them up all the time.
Did they get me?
Yeah,
They got you. They get pretty good now with AI. And
Can I see Tom
Yeah. I
Holland
don't know if they-
Ben 10?
I think they might even did it like
Did they get me?
yeah, because the image will be AI, and then what they do is to splice stuff from other movies they've made and color grade it differently,
Yeah.
put it together.
Oh, they're concept trailers. They got me.
Yeah, I'm
Bitches.
there's a channel
Oh,
on
it
YouTube
sucks.
that's known for it. So I always look at the source, and that one channel always does it.
Interesting.
I was very irritated. Similar thing happened to me where there was a news article that was like, "Hey, Avatar 3, they showed this first footage from it at Comic-Con or something."
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool, let me look it up on YouTube." And Avatar 3 trailer comes up. It's just made by some schmucks. Just taken. It's not the real trailer.
Yeah, there's only like stuff from the Avatar video game cutscenes.
Yes.
Or stuff in the movie, but they made it blue instead of orange instead of blue, and you're like, oh, it must be different because
Yeah.
I've seen this before.
And
But
so like the footage has not been released to anywhere on the internet. But
yeah,
but people capitalize and like, oh, people are gonna look for this. I'll make some crap.
Terry got tricked, the short. Oh, well, that's going to do it for part 1 of Tubby Talk. We had a great time here. And in fact, we had too much fun. So we're going to separate this into 2 episodes. One about Switch 2 and one also about Switch 2. But maybe some money as well. We'll see you in part 2.
See you guys.
one's about Minecraft.